Back to Charlie's Angels, you know, as I told you, we had McG here earlier this year, but I'd like you to tell us the great story behind how McG persuaded you to take him on as the director of Charlie's Angels.
Well, it was persuading all along from the get-go, because I read somewhere that Charlie's Angels was at Sony Columbia before we were there, we were at Fox, and it had been there for 10 years. And I grew up not just watching Charlie's Angels, but playing Charlie's Angels. I mean, I was Sabrina, I had the whole thing down. And so I said, let me read it, this is so exciting, maybe Drew could be in it. And I read it. The whole thing took place on a Swiss chalet. They never changed outfits. One of the girls was pregnant, it was like a test tube. It was so girly.
They were cloning supermodels.
And on top of it, they were cloning supermodels. Which, of course, then you've got these three beauties, but then with supermodels, you're like, wait, I don't even know what's coming or going. So I was so
make us all feel bad.
I mean,
you have to have a beauty.
I was so irate that I called this executive at Sony, who I knew quite well, and I said, I cannot believe this is what you did with Charlie's Angels. Do you have anyone who knew Charlie's Angels working on this film? And I sort of rattled off 20,000 ways that I would have done Charlie's Angels, and he said, you guys have to produce this movie, and Drew has to be in it. Well, I hadn't even told you how mad I was, because it was just one of those, so I said,
I was eating sushi, and I was mad
in
at
her office.
Parked my butt down to eat this awesome meal, and I was like, and she was
like,
like, dude, they're making Charlie's Angels, we have to make it. And I was like, Charlie's Angels. I was like, can I just finish?
So anyway, we were so infatuated. We used to do a lot of
I was like Crispin Glover and Wild at Heart, you know, like
I'm
making my lunch.
Yeah.
Like crazy dancing when you get near food. It's like I'm calling in afterwards. I'm like, wow, that sounds rad. What's going on?
And we made collages, and we did that whole thing, and we went in and presented to Leonard.
We did it Nancy Trevone and Style Scholastic. She did binders. We did charts. We did like literally billboards, like charts with pictures of who we wanted to be in the film, who we saw as the angels. I was in there on the picture, which was sad, but
I think they were so overwhelmed. They're like, yeah, okay, you guys can produce the movie.
And I think they thought at the time, like,
it was our second movie.
We had produced Never Been Kissed, a small budget little romantic comedy that weirdly ended up working, and we were responsible with it, and that was lucky. But that was step one. We jumped to step 5. We skipped 2, 3, and 4, and it was scary.
I mean, it was like senior year.
High risk.
It was crazy.
Scary. And then there was a lot of publicity on it, like, this should fail, this is gonna suck, you guys are buttholes. We were like, oh my god, why?
Like, at least we're having more fun than the reporting we're having.
We were having a blast. I mean,
McG,
there were tough moments, but like, we had the best time making it.
McG's agent, he'd only done video, kept calling me, like every agent and manager will when something's announced. That you've got to meet this guy, Mick. I'm like, Mick, what is going on? No way. He's never done anything. We've only done one thing. We can't. This is too big. It's too big. We can't even meet with him. It's not fair. Like, it's not okay. Months went by. We did meet with Alexander Payne.
We did. He gave the most amazing presentation of what he would make.
Someone should make his movie with Charlie's Angels.
It was so rad. It starts off with we had an aerial sequence, as in the film, where they jump into things like, I want to see the wires. His take was so brilliant. I just would give anything to make that movie too.
But and we finally said, fine, we'll meet with McG for 40 minutes at this, place, and we'll have one drink, and that is it, and then we're done, and we just can't even discuss this again. And we met with him for exactly 40 minutes, and at the end of it, we were like, we love you!
Actually, he left like this old guy. He gave this whole presentation, and he was like,
and we're like, that is the best movie ever.
We literally were like, we watched him walk out, and we were like,
done. We're like, now we have to go tell Leonard.
Because after all these filmmakers that we met with, as brilliant as they were, as famous as they were, as unknown as they were, as many risks as they wanted to take, it was like, how do you combine all the films in this genre that you love, but you don't imitate them, but you celebrate them? And yet, how do you make it your own? How can you say, it's like this film one day, but you don't stay away from what you love, but you don't copy what you love? And how do you put all these elements in there?
And it's not the Mod Squad. It wasn't serious. It wasn't like girl empowerment. We kept getting this female. We're like, oh, we're girls. We feel empowered, but we don't want to splash saddle. We want them to be goofy. We want them to
And
eat. We
love
want them to, like,
boys.
love guys. We want them to look good because they feel like looking good. You know, it's just, it was
Believe
fun.
me, if I could be a Charlie's Angels, I think we'd set the tone right there, you know, I mean, no? Okay. I mean, I don't think I'm the model, you know.
But he
anyway.
was the best.
He was awesome. He was
He
the
had
one
energy
guy
every
who just
single
got
day.
it all. And
Yeah.
He was fun and delightful, and we just were like, this
We
is
broke
the
the
guy.
record with the first-time director who's ever had the biggest budget. It was the biggest budget of any first-time director. Everybody was mad. Everybody was livid. The movie came out and we did all right.
And you pulled it off.
We did it.
Yes, and we had the best time
And we
making
really
it.
did
You
have fun.
cannot imagine. I made the best friends with these girls. We just giggled our butts off the whole time, and we couldn't believe that we actually got to make a movie where girls were getting along, where they loved each other. There was like a camaraderie between these women, and yet they wanted to love their boys, and like, you know, just it's so good, the way girls should be, capable.